to me, 'cause what you said to me cut so deep, and now you're dead to me.
Hello and welcome back to another video, except this time it's a little bit different and it's a Flamingo Land review. I was at Flamingo Land for just a week. However, I'd highly recommend it, and I would also recommend maybe going to York for the day, which is just a 20-minute train journey from the resort. First of all, I'd like to introduce the Jumbo, which is actually the world's steepest roller coaster in the world and made it onto the Guinness World Book of Records. But to be fair, I didn't go on this because, let's just be honest, I was too scared to go on this, but I would definitely recommend it because it does look really fun. Next up in the video, I'd like to introduce Flamingo Land's very own flip-flop. Unfortunately, I never got to go on this as it did keep breaking down. However, here's just an off-ride shot. Also, I would highly recommend this as it looks really fun, and I've been on Horn's Pleasure Fair's Freakout, which is really similar to this, almost identical, just different name, just different colour, and just a different layout. Next up is the Hero, which reminded me of the movie Avengers. This one really does make your tummy go. It is amazing and I would highly recommend it. The one thing that gets me about it as it's really fast and you're standing up. This really was one roller coaster I really did enjoy. Anyways, here's just an off-ride shot of what you may expect at Flamingo Land on this roller coaster. Is the cliffhanger drop, which I thought was very scary, well, which it is, but oh my days, it is amazing. And when you get to the top, or you stay at the top for around 10 seconds before you drop again, you get a brilliant view of all around the park, outside the park also, and the North Yorkshire moors, which I thought was just amazing. This is the Navigator, which I get mixed up between the Vertigo and the Navigator, and the Vertigo ain't even a ride. However, this one's good. It doesn't look scary, but trust me, it's scary. Well, it's not too scary, but it gets you excited, and it's really good fun if you go on with some of your mates. And there's never much of a queue. Next up in this review is the swings. Personally, I wouldn't go on them, but by the looks of it, a lot of people went on it, but there wasn't much of a queue each time we passed it, but I believe the view, and it would be quite fun once you're at the top, but I don't like heights, which is why I never went on it. And safe to say, there was a few green faces when they came off. On one of the days we were here, we boarded this little locomotive which took us round the zoo quite slowly, but we didn't have to walk. Personally thought it was quite good because you got more of a perspective of things, and you had more time to look at things you wouldn't see in the past. I think this kids type roller coaster looked pretty good as well, judging by all the adults' faces. I think they enjoyed it more than the children, if I'm going to be really honest. I had to go on it one of the days, didn't I? Next up is this Twistosaurus, which is basically waltzers on a track. Unfortunately, our car didn't spin, but it was still really good. It reminded me of... What did it remind me of? I really don't know, but it's really good. Kids type roller coaster called Zoom was quite good, and let's be honest, I liked the idea of it and I really liked the design of it. However, the way you're strapped in is quite tricky, especially if you can't reach the bottom. There's like a seatbelt at the bottom that connects up to the bar that goes across your tummy, and it's quite hard to reach. So that's my only sort of negative thing I would say about this. Apart from that, it's amazing, and when we were there wasn't much of a queue. I enjoyed this one. However, if you visited here and you were on it, what's your opinions on it? Here is an off-ride shot of a ride called Balloons. This is quite good. It's really good for the kids, and it's good if you don't like heights. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Here is the Lost River ride doing a test run before they opened at 10 AM. I went on this one and it was amazing. I thought this one was good because you got to go around the zoo, another ride where you didn't really get access to if you were on a footpath. So I thought this one was really good. Plus you got wet and you had a chance to cool down. However, the walk to the caravan wasn't great. The zoo, on the other hand, oh my days, I thought it was just amazing. And this cute little meerkat, I thought I wanted to steal it and take it home as a pet. These kangaroos were funny. When they hopped, they reminded me of a drunk old man walking home from the pub. It was funny, but cool at the same time. I'd love to steal one of these too. Unfortunately, I never. And for clarification, I did not steal any animals. I didn't go on this sick roller coaster this time, but a family member of mine did, and they said it was absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, on this holiday, I was up to my eyeballs in editing and videos, so I really didn't have a lot of time to do all of the rides and cover all of the resort park, but I am looking to come back into the future and do this ride. Now on to the entertainment side of the holiday. The sauce were brilliant. I think I enjoyed this night of entertainment the most. When we were away at Flamingo Land, the entertainment's night featured Just Anne-Marie, Gia Rules, Joe Rochelle Music, The Sauce, and many more. We can't forget Flamingo's Live. That was probably the best part, if I've got to be honest, only because you won prizes and you got to go upstage. Next up is the Voodoo Pirate Ship type ride. Unfortunately, this wasn't open on any of the days we visited Flamingo Land, so when I visit back in the future, I hope this ride is open. I was really disappointed that this ride wasn't open along with other rides, but that's just life, unfortunately. As now we move on to the negative sides of Flamingo Land, one thing I would say they were lacking on was their food places. We visited the food place up next to the zoo where there's a massive park. I can't remember what it was called, but the food wasn't the greatest and they weren't serving up half the menu. Plus, it was very expensive, but I mean, what else do you expect for a hot holiday park? For 8 people, we were £100, which personally I would say steep, but in reality, £100 for 8 people, it isn't that bad. It would be good if there was like an on-site McDonald's maybe sort of thing, or even like a burger van, as we could get a decent fry-up if we were still hangover the next morning. We did make our own fry-up, however, but as we're Scottish, we're still used to Scottish breakfast, so an English breakfast wasn't really up to our standards, so it wasn't the best. However, I do look forward to visiting Flamingo Land Resort Yorkshire into the future, and I hope I give myself more time and more space to do more of the rides, more of the arcades, and visit more of the zoo. However, I was really disheartened that some of the rides have been, let's just use the word, discontinued, as when I last came in 2015, there was a lot more rides than last week. However, I did hear some of the rides did get sold, which was quite sad, but they have been replaced with rides just as good. Also, when we came back in 2016, there was 2 entertainment rooms. However, now there is just 1, and I believe the other entertainment room is now the Heineken Sports Bar, where we were quite lucky as they actually hosted the Celtic game in there, which I thought was brilliant considering we're in an English place. I now think it's time for a summary of my visit. Firstly, I'd highly recommend Flamingo Land. The prices to get in are pretty reasonable, and to stay on site the prices were pretty decent too. We also found out that we could get an Asda delivery right to our caravan, which was amazing too, because the little cost cutter side shop on site didn't sell as much things as you would get in Asda's, but what else do you expect for a holiday resort shop? However, when we visited, the only thing I would say about entertainment night was the security they did pick and choose who they let in and who they didn't. As one of the nights, I kept getting asked for my resort pass when I was entering after I went out to get signal. However, that was just one of the securities. The other was okay and had a laugh with us all, but we can't all be happy, can we? However, I hope to see Flamingo Land in a couple of years' time, if not next year, for another week full of madness. Well, until then, guys, I hope you enjoyed my first amusement park report, and I hope this encourages you to go and visit.